All right, today we're diving into a different side of software testing. It's less about ticking boxes and a lot more like detective work. It's called exploratory testing, and it's all about hunting down those bugs that nobody ever sees coming. So, let's be real for a second. When you hear software testing, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it, someone with a clipboard just mindlessly ticking off boxes on some super long, boring checklist? Just, yep, this works. Yep, that works. If that's what you're thinking, you might be in for a surprise. Because what if I told you that some of the biggest, baddest, most system-crashing bugs, they're found when you toss the script right out the window? Yeah, that one simple idea, that's the core of everything we're getting into today. All right, so let's officially move beyond that checklist. It's time to explore a way more dynamic and, frankly, a much more human approach to making sure software actually works. Okay, so think of it like this. On one side, you've got your traditional scripted testing. It's super rigid, right? You just follow a pre-written script step by step to check the known paths. But then you have exploratory testing. And that's all about being flexible, free, and guided by your own curiosity and intuition. The goal isn't to walk the same old path, it's to discover totally new ones and, find the nasty surprises hiding there. And this really gets to the heart of it. We're not just talking about a process here. This is more of a creative skill. It really is the art of exploring. So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, exploratory testing is when a tester is doing three things all at once. They're learning the application, they're designing tests in their head, and they're executing those tests right then and there. It's this constant, fluid loop of learning, designing, and testing, all happening on the fly. Okay, that sounds cool in theory, right? But how does it actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at a couple of examples of how this free-form approach can uncover those really sneaky hidden bugs that a script would just completely miss. All right, first up, picture a standard e-commerce app, for online shopping. A scripted test would probably just check if you can add one item to your cart and check out. Pretty simple, right? Basic stuff. But a tester with an explorer's mindset thinks, what if? Instead of just one item, they start rapidly adding, say, 50 different things to the cart, one after the other. They're deliberately pushing the system's limits. And they're not done yet. Next, they start throwing multiple coupon codes at it back to back, just to see what happens. They are intentionally trying to mess with the app's logic. And the results? The whole system just crashes. That's a huge, critical bug that could cost a company a fortune in lost sales. And it wasn't found by a script. It was found by plain old human creativity. Okay, here's another one. How about a chat app? Again, a normal test would probably just check if you can send a simple text message. Hello world, done. But our Explorer, they decide to try a really weird combination. First, they send a message that has only emojis in it. Then, right after that, they try to attach a massive, a 2 gigabyte video file. Who does that? Well, they do. And boom, the app just freezes solid. That's another one of those hidden bugs you'd only find by combining actions in a way that, let's be honest, only a really curious or mischievous person would even think of. So as you can see from these examples, this isn't just random clicking around. It's about a very specific way of thinking. It's about having an explorer's mindset. And that mindset, it's really a blend of three things. It all starts with pure curiosity, asking, hey, what happens if I try this? Then that leads to creativity. Okay, what if I use this thing in a way it was never designed for? And finally, it all comes together with intuition, that professional gut feeling that just asks, what feels like it could break here? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like watching a little kid with a brand new toy. They don't read the manual, right? Of course not. They just push every button, turn it upside down, maybe even see if it floats. And in the process, they find all of its secrets and all its breaking points, stuff the designers never in a million years would have thought of. So if we were to map this out, what does the process actually look like? Well, it all boils down to this really simple, super fast, repeating cycle. Learn, design, test. And this is a really quick loop. A tester learns a little something about a feature. Instantly, in that same moment, they're designing a test scenario in their head based on what they just saw. And then, bam, without even pausing, they try it out right then and there. And whatever happens in that test immediately feeds into the very next cycle of learning. So at the end of the day, this is about more than any fancy tool or detailed script. Exploratory testing is all about harnessing the incredible power of human creativity and putting that intuition directly into action. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. In a world that's getting more and more automated every single day, where we rely on scripts and algorithms for so much, what's the real value of human curiosity? Maybe, just maybe, it's the one thing that can save us from the problems we never even knew we should be looking for.